What is up, Wolfpack? Welcome to the Tuesday vlog update, which I think I'm going to switch into something a little different for how I do these. Of course, I'll still give you updates from time to time, maybe like once a month, but thinking about how I approach things as a person, etc., and do my YouTube channel. I'm just trying to think about ways that are more entertaining and more interesting to you all, because I'm sure you're interested to know what I'm going to be doing next, but I felt like it was getting to be, for the most part, other than maybe like last week, where it was just week after week after week of me just saying, well, on Thursday I'm going to upload this and come to my next convention. I feel like it'd be more beneficial for me to, I sort of talk about how I approach things and maybe just sort of be generally helpful. Not quite a lesson, but something that you can actually use. I want to talk about workflow and work ethic a little bit. And if you have any ideas, I'd love to hear them. This doesn't just apply to YouTube. It can apply to any sort of work that you do. For a long time, and still do, I procrastinate quite a bit when it comes to doing whatever I do and going toward the end product that I want. I spend way too much time on minutia and I don't get the overall picture. The one thing that's been beneficial to me the last year and a half, 2 years, can't quite keep track, is that I now am holding myself to a deadline schedule and I need to complete things. And it's sort of making me realize how much stress I was putting myself under. For me, the idea that I had homework due, I could just do it last minute, like right before class, most of the time. And essays didn't take me that long either. So I would really push those to the last minute. However, with my creative project, which I care so much more about than I do some paper about Charlemagne or whatever it was, I really agonize over it. And I edit videos, and occasionally I have put things out that weren't up to what my standards would have been, especially when it comes to the visual part of the medium. Usually I've got the music pretty down pat, but I have had a time or two where I'd go back and listen and just shake my head and wonder why I didn't fix those things if I just let myself have more time. And in the spirit of that, I've been starting projects earlier and working on them in a more sensible fashion. So there's a theory in project management that you have called a Gantt chart, which is where you set up different, and it's usually, you use it with teams. So you just say you take thing A, B, C, you put it on I'll probably get a picture of what a Gantt chart looks like and put it like right here, but you get A, B, C, D, and you have on a timeline, and you just basically plan out, okay, so thing A takes from, minute 30 to minute 40, and at the same time, at minute 35, thing B has to get done, because by the time A is done with its thing at minute 40, that will be what B needs to get completed by minute 50, and so on and so forth. So basically, it's a formalized way of staggering out projects that need to be completed over a certain amount of time in such a way that you can get things taken care of. Right now with my vlogs, they're my Tuesday vlog updates, but because of how my life is structured currently, like I have to be in work by 10 a.m. I can't really do too much work before 9:30 a.m. in the day, just because I live in an apartment and I don't like being too loud at certain times. I do my Tuesday vlogs on Monday night, which I usually have a lesson as well. Now, I mean, it works in the short term, but you can also have it so, like, for instance, I'm working on a cover right now that's probably not going to be released on Thursday, which is kind of exploding some of what I have going on. But, for the last couple of weeks, I had the Tower of Mistakes cover that I did, and then I also had the Here Comes the Thought cover that was in the works. I had these 3 things going, and they were all at different stages of completion, and I was working on them all as much as I could in certain ways, realizing this is what I needed here, this is what I needed there, this is what I needed there. What was a surprise, and that third thing just came to me, it was the Five Nights at Freddy death metal. That's where that came in, and I was able to sort of push things out. And what that does is, if I'm procrastinating one project, I can work on another project. And so on and so forth, with the knowledge that once every Thursday, I have to have something. It doesn't necessarily matter what it is, but I have to have some sort of music or lesson or something of that nature. And I wanted to go over that with you because that is how I have found is the best way to approach with my personality type and how I procrastinate and get things done. Use that Gantt chart, figure out where things are, and plan it. Now, most of that's done in my head, but it probably would be good to write it down, when you're first starting it out. Right now, I'm doing it mostly in my head. I just know where things are at for most of the time. So that's how I approach getting stuff done when I have multiple projects going on, which I do as a creator on YouTube. How do you all approach your workloads? That's really my question for you all, because I'd love to hear what you all do. I am still working on a few things, working on my presentation. Got to figure out exactly how I want to get things done, but for now, I really appreciate all of the support you give me, Wolfpack, and if you have any comments at all, let me know in the section below. And if you thought my advice was good at all, that somebody else could benefit from it, don't forget to share, and I will see you next time.